All right, it is 5 o'clock. We will go ahead and begin this meeting of the Kokomo City Board of Zoning Appeals, December 1st, 2020. I would invite everyone to please stand as we have the Pledge of Allegiance, a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. I would ask you this time, if you have a cell phone, to please make sure the phone is on silent. Our first item of the evening is the approval of the minutes from the Wednesday, November 4th, 2020 meeting.
I approve the minutes from the meeting on Wednesday, November 4th, 2020.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve those minutes. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, thank you. Mr. Sheline, our next item is case P06-SE-20.
Yes, the petition of Doug Stellhorn requesting a special exception per section 3.29 for a high-intensity retail RV sales and service dealership in a C1 zone at 3116 West Boulevard.
Do I have a motion on case P06-SE-20?
I move that we approve case P06-SE-20 and adopt the findings of the petitioner as those of the board, make those findings part of the record.
Second.
Contingent upon it being approved, second reading of the city council.
Just so everyone knows, City Council heard this case. It went through the Plan Commission, got passed. It got passed on first reading to City Council, but with everything going on, we couldn't get the second reading before tonight's meeting. So that's why I want to make it contingent that City Council pass the second reading.
Okay, thank you.
Second.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So we do have a motion and a second so we can discuss this case. Have any board members had any ex parte communication regarding this case? No? Okay. So whoever's here this evening to address this case, if you'd step to the microphone, please, if you'd state your name and your address for the record, and kind of first just tell us what it is you're wanting to do, what brings you here before the board this evening, and then ultimately we'll have you also read into the record your finding of facts.
Okay, hi, my name is Doug Stellhorn. I own Stellhorn Home Improvement in Rushville, Indiana, and I also own Stellhorn Tri-County Travel Trailers, also located in Rushville, Indiana at this time. I'm here seeking rezoning so that I can move that dealership to the West Boulevard site here in Kokomo, Indiana.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So what is it that that I guess would attract you to come to this location? I mean, what?
Well, the biggest thing is I want to get this dealership into Kokomo, Indiana, into the city. This location offers us a couple different things. One, it gives us an opportunity to get into the city, into a location that would be ideally suited for us with the current facilities and stuff that are there. And it also gives us an opportunity to get into the city and clean up an area that's been an eyesore for 15 years. So we're kind of looking forward to that. I really like the idea that the bike path might be coming by there at some future point. I'd love to be a part of that. I'd love to team up with the city on that. So there's just a lot of things that make that site very desirable for us.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Any other questions from the board at this point?
Mr. Shellhorn, what the area behind the buildings, what are you planning on doing with that, where the baseball field used to be, or?
Right. Our plan is we've had the fence looked at to see if it's salvageable at all, and it's not. There's just so much growth over the years that's been neglected for so long, so there's no way to salvage it. So our intent is to take all that down, take down the ballpark lights, take down the concession stands, take down the dugouts. They're all very overgrown and outdated. Just get rid of all of that, and then essentially we're just going to maintain that. I don't have any future plans for that area right now. I did talk to Dave Blazer, Blazer farms that land adjacent to that over there off of Deffenbaugh. So I have talked to them. They're willing to lease that section and farm it for right now if we decide to do that. But right now, I currently don't have any plans for that back there.
Okay. So basically, you're going to use everything from the buildings to the boulevard?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Sheeline, would you remind us, I know special exceptions are different than variances, so what brings this case before this board tonight?
Well, it's just like, it's like a car dealership. If you, in a C1 zone, we could have rezoned it C2, and it would be a permitted use. However, C1 is a lot less intensive. There's less things that can go in a C1 zone that could go in a C2 zone. So we felt like with the residential there, it would be better to zone it C1 to the less intensive zone. But along with that, you have to get the special exception for the high-intensity retail, which allows for the sale of automobiles or RVs or whatever. So that's why they're before you tonight.
Good deal, thank you. Any other questions at this time from the board?
I have one.
Mr. Besser?
I'd like clarification. I know at the planning commission meeting, you said you was going to, or wouldn't have a problem with putting trees back along that one side.
Yes, sir.
Are you still going to do that? So
Absolutely.
it'll be there for a buffer for what neighbors are there.
Right. Absolutely. The trees that are there, and I apologize, I don't know the name of them, but I know they're a fast-growing. I talked to the previous owner, Dr. Kinsey, who planted those trees there when he took it, and we've talked about the possibility of just continuing that on down, so it just definitely buffers the residential area on that side.
Thank you.
Are you saying, so are you guys talking to the west side?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Mhm.
Okay, any other questions from the board at this time? Okay, Mr. Stelhorn, you have a copy of your findings of fact there?
I do.
Okay, if you would go ahead and read those so we have those in the record.
The proposal will not be injurious to the public health, safety, morals, and general welfare of the community. Not at all. Our facility will be clean, well-maintained, and to the highest standards, and safe in all regards. The requirements and development standards for the requested use as prescribed by this zoning ordinance will be met. The buildings meet the minimum requirements for front and side setback requirements on this zoning district. Not only will the standards be met, but they'll be exceeded. The buildings will be remodeled and updated inside and out. The landscaping will be redone and properly maintained. Everything we do will follow high standards that we set. The granting of the exception will not subvert or general purposes serving by the zoning ordinance and will not permanently injure other property or uses in the same district and vicinity. The business will be of value to the community in that it will be reputable and both attractive and well-maintained. It will not cause disturbance or harm to nearby properties. The proposed use will be consistent with the character of the district therein, the spirit and intent of the zoning ordinance, and the Kokomo Comprehensive Plan. There is already a large area in the front that can be converted to parking for campers. The existing buildings meet our needs with some changes. The large trees along each side of the property will not only remain, but will be added to provide privacy for our neighbors. We will not be open late in the evenings or on Sundays.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Sheeline, the staff findings?
Yeah, staff findings for case P06-SC-20. The proposal will not be injurious to public health, safety, morals, and general welfare of the community. The proposed special exception use will not be injurious to the welfare of the community. The petitioner plans to keep and renovate the existing buildings and remove the ball fields, fences, bleachers, concession stands, ball diamond, lights, and miniature golf course. The dealership will not generate an excessive amount of traffic. The requirements and development standards for the requested use as prescribed by this zoning ordinance will be met. The buildings meet the minimum requirements for front and side setback requirements in this zoning district. The petitioner plans to meet all development standards, including proper setbacks. Buffer yard standards will be closely followed to ensure that the business does not disturb the residential areas on either side. Petitioner will put in new landscaping to make repairs to the existing parking lot in addition to the building renovations. One building will be renovated into a showroom and the other will be service department and offices. The granting of the exception will not subvert the general purposes served by this zoning ordinance and will not permanently injure other property or uses in the same district and vicinity. The petitioner's goal is to clean up and polish the property in order to make it inviting to potential customers. The repairs and renovation plans will require the petitioners to invest an estimated $189,000 into the property. Granting this special exception will allow the petitioner to add value to the area and put an underutilized property to use. The petitioner plans to keep regular business hours Monday through Friday 9 to 5 and Saturdays 9 to 2 so as not to disturb the neighbors. During busy season, March through October, they will be open until 6 p.m. during the week and 3 p.m. on Saturdays. This will be a sales and service dealership only. They will employ about 9 people total to run the sales and service departments. The proposed use will be consistent with the character of the district therein, the spirit and intent of this zoning ordinance, and the Kokomo Comprehensive Plan. The Kokomo Comprehensive Plan future land use map designates this area for parks and recreation use. However, this property is also located just off the busy Dixon Road corridor, which was labeled for general commercial uses. The petitioner will be removing the old ball fields to the rear of the property, but will keep the space green in order to disturb as little of the area as possible. There are currently no future plans for that area. The staff believes this business will be compatible with the surrounding area. This special exception should be limited to Douglas Stelhorn and his business, Stelhorn Tri-County Travel Trailers, and will be void should they move or sell the property.
Okay, thank you. All right, having heard the petitioner's findings and the staff findings, do any board members have any questions at this time? Petitioner or Mr. Sheeline? All right, is there anyone in the audience who would like to be heard regarding this case? Okay. Mr. Myers, the point D on the staff findings, the very last line, the special exception should be limited to Douglas Stelhorn and his business, et cetera. I don't know if you want to add that to your motion?
You
or
don't
that-
need to,
Don't have to,
it's in the staff report, so it'll be
Okay.
in the minutes, so yeah,
Okay.
you don't need to do that. Unless you, I mean, you can if you want to, but
No,
it'll be in the
You're
minutes.
good with that?
Yes.
I'll do that.
Mr. Stelhorn, anything you'd like to add?
I just appreciate everything that you guys have done.
No worries. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Well, hearing no questions from the board or from the audience, Mr. Stelhorn has nothing else to add. We do have a motion and a second for the approval of case C06-SE-20, dependent on the approval of City Council on their second reading.
Correct.
All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Is there any other business to be brought before the Kokomo City Board of Zoning Appeals this evening?
I have no other business, Mr. President.
Anyone else?
Make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
Moved and seconded to adjourn, all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed to that? All right. Have a good evening, stay safe and healthy.
Thank you, sir.